welcome to another edition of Ozsports FM podcast. This is our second edition of the show after, I think, a successful first edition, Travis.
Well, it must be a success. We're back.
We're back. I think we've got out to 1 billion podcast listeners out there. Well, we're hoping. So in India. But yes, welcome everyone. And what an action-packed weekend it was of sport. And Travis, I think we're going to kick it off for our listeners with the World Cup.
World Cup of cricket.
Yes.
It's been a big month, or 2 months. In Australia, this is just the tail end of it now, isn't it?
It is actually. But a great weekend of cricket stuff.
Absolutely.
And few interesting results as well. One in particular we'll touch on really soon. But I don't know where to start. Adelaide Oval. Let's go to their hometown here.
Let's go to Adelaide Oval. Definitely.
India
and Pakistan.
Now, capacity crowd of over 50,000, sold in 20 minutes.
So yeah.
However, I was watching the game on Foxtel, and it said 41,000 people were only there. So work that one out.
That's not sold out, is it? It's not a full house at Adelaide Oval.
No, it's not.
Few seats missing.
We've got a tarps out there, maybe.
Well, a throwback to the Port Adelaide days.
Yeah, throwback indeed. But now, look, it was a fantastic match. India came out 300 runs in 50 overs. They're a class act, and 100 made by their super captain.
Coley. Yeah, he played well.
Is he the next Sachin?
Well, he may well be. I think he's definitely the future. Indian cricket.
Definitely the future, and the way he's going, it could be the next Sachin Tendulkar. But they pretty much destroyed Pakistan. Pakistan, from when I was watching it, they started off okay, but not as strong as India, and they really fell away. The wickets came quickly. I think there was even a hat-trick moment there that I saw. But fantastic match, and India looked really strong.
They do, and I think that's good because they had a pretty ordinary lead-up, if you like, didn't they, to the World Cup? They've been out here for a couple of months now, and a Test series they were second best, that whole time over those 4 Test matches, and the one days they played in the lead-up against Australia and England didn't really show much, so they've probably come in with maybe a low base in terms of expectation. Maybe that's of benefit to them now the World Cup's actually come along. Maybe people just aren't expecting big things from them.
Well, quite possibly. I mean, from what I saw, they played really well. And I mean, they've beaten Pakistan as a 6-0 now in all the Cricket World Cups. I mean,
pretty formidable record.
Talk about a bogey team for Pakistan.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But apparently, Adelaide Oval looked magnificent. It was a ripper of a day yesterday, and apparently there was over 1 billion people watching Adelaide, which is amazing.
It's a good endorsement for the city.
Not bad.
The Roosevelt Oval, I guess the scoreboard, the fig trees in the background, aesthetically how it looks, it's a really good advertisement for Adelaide in South Australia.
It's priceless, mind you, that advertisement. There's even, I was on Twitter and looking at all the, some celebrities from even in Los Angeles, one of the Big Bang Theory actors there, Kunal Nair, was tweeting around India, so, he's even watching from Los Angeles, so, obviously Adelaide was on the world stage.
Yeah, worldwide audience.
Yeah, it's fantastic. Now, let's obviously it was fantastic, and it was great to see the fans get around the city of Adelaide.
Well, you couldn't get a hotel either in Adelaide, could you? Everything was packed. There was just no vacancy. People streaming around the streets before the game. It was
fantastic, and obviously that wasn't the first game of the World Cup, but New Zealand and Sri Lanka, and New Zealand defeating Sri Lanka. Actually, there was 6 for 331, and they defeated Sri Lanka 233 runs. So quite comfortably there.
Yeah, Sri Lanka just
hopeless.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Pretty much hopeless. But I understand you were in Melbourne over the weekend. But now, did you attend the Australia England match, or was it the One Direction concert, Trevor?
I split my time between a musical and then flicked off to the one. No, we didn't go in the One Direction.
No One Direction.
Yes, but I tell you what, there were plenty of screaming girls who had gone to One Direction concert. Looked like they had a great time. But England obviously playing Australia, and a good way for Australia to kick off their campaign in front of 85,000 people at the MCG.
Fantastic ground, as everyone knows. Yeah, it was 9 for 342. Australia defeated England 231. So pretty. They started off slow from what I saw, and then they obviously kicked into gear well into that.
But Warner got out cheaply. They're in, not trouble, but it could have quite quickly gone the other way. Australia 3 for 60 odd at the top of their innings. England on top, come out really fired up. I think Broad, bowling really well. George Bailey, the man supposedly making way for Michael Clark next week, came out really steadied the ship with Aaron Finch. So
Clarkie's coming back against Bangladesh, well, supposedly. But what about Shane Watson? I mean, seriously, what's going on with that guy?
Look, hopeless.
He's not a hopeless guy.
Oh no, I think hopeless is a compliment almost.
I'm being nice.
I think you've been way too nice to Shane Watson. Just for me, he doesn't fit in the team. His role, his personal role, I think, has become redundant. And I think if the selectors are selecting on form, which is, I think, what they should be doing.
Well, they should be, you'd hope so.
Particularly when Mitch Marsh bowled the way he did. Watson goes. Watson missed out next game for Clark, and just with that, though, there obviously has to be a bit of a shuffle of the batting order. But there's no reason, Steve Smith, Michael Clark, one of those guys can't bat at that number 3 role.
Steve Smith has played quite well in Clark's absence.
Yeah, he has.
So there's no reason to think that he can't step up to the plate pretty much.
Absolutely, and I think the form he's in, he probably deserves that opportunity. He should bat at number 3.
You need your best team in the competition by far.
Yeah,
it doesn't matter what sport you play in, especially if it's a World Cup where it happens every so few years. So really, I mean, he's not performing. Just get rid of the guy simply. Go back and go back to training and start doing something else.
Well, yeah, he did stay part of the 15, and he's there if the opportunity, I suppose, comes later in the tournament. Mitch Marsh may not be in form at that point. Faulkner may not recover from his injury. There may be an opportunity for him down the track. But I think at the moment on form, he doesn't deserve his place.
Now, one thing that happened in the match was really interesting. There was quite a dilemma with the umpiring. Now, we're going to try and explain what had occurred. Mind you, it took us about 10 minutes to figure out ourselves here before going on air, people. So bear with us. But pretty much there is an error that was made. Now, my understanding is that the umpire, Aline Dar, initially gave James Taylor out, LBW, which was reversed by the third umpire. Now, during that same play, let's call it a play, the batsman also went for a quick single off the same delivery. Now, Glenn Maxwell ran out James Anderson with a direct hit. However, the ball should have been deemed dead once Taylor had been given out.
Yeah, correct. Yeah.
So, and there was a bit of a cock-up there.
So, quite simply, the umpires have made an error. Clearly.
Even a TV viewer would know that.
Well, would a TV viewer know that?
maybe not maybe not all of them, especially after a few videos who's out or who's in.
But yeah, I mean, I guess from afar, you think that if a player is given out, whether it's court or LBW, and yes, we have a review system, but if the player is given out, the umpire should know that if he's given someone out, that's the end of that sequence, and the delivery from that point,
that's right, yeah,
stopped and he's dead, as it should be.
Well, should be. Obviously it wasn't, and he was on 99 runs. Nice.
Yeah.
Alright. I mean, you'd be spewing, wouldn't you?
You would be, imagine that, the opportunity to get 100 in a World Cup.
Yeah. And all because of an error, which is admitted to be an error.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah.
You think they'll get their, SHIT together, but that's something that.
But it is England, so.
Well, it doesn't really matter at all, really. Now, one of the interesting results that happened, can you believe it? Ireland beat West Indies, a bit of the luck of the Irish fan.
I think you can believe that.
It's almost comical, isn't it? It's like you're watching a drama on TV. You just don't know what's going on. So yeah, they pretty much defeated them by 4 wickets, believe it or not. And
it chased down a big tally. Like what was 305?
304 was the tally that they had to chase down. They got 307.
Yeah. So
it's a big result. I don't know. I'm speechless, really. I don't know what to say.
I think that probably just sums up West Indian cricket at the moment. It's a bit of a basket case.
It is, and unfortunately, they were, of course, in the 80s and early 90s, and now they're just a joke.
Yeah, far from those days at present.
Definitely. Now, we've got the upcoming draw. New Zealand v Scotland is tomorrow in Dundee. I think I pronounced it correctly. And we've got Bangladesh and Afghanistan. That's a crap match in Canberra. I mean, seriously, that is unbelievable. There's going to be a billion people watching that. And then you've got Australia v Bangladesh at the Gabba on Saturday. So, that rounds off the weekend with Sri Lanka v Afghanistan on Sunday. So that rounds off this upcoming weekend.
Just quickly, I obviously want Australia to win, and I said this last week, but I did pick South Africa last week to win the tournament. They started off with a win. They beat Zimbabwe.
They are playing India on Sunday at the MCG.
Yeah, so that's going to be a real crunch game.
Well,
you're obviously back and forth.
Well, yeah, definitely. That's going to be a really good match to watch. So I think West Indies. I'm just looking at Australia, the wrong draw there. No, South Africa, India. That's right, on Sunday. Sorry about that. Thanks. There's too many matches going on, and we lost our train of thought there for a second. So, but look, it's going to be a cracker. I think South Africa, definitely India. So, I don't know, India got a soft spot for them. They're just they're playing quite well. But look, hopefully Australia get through to the quarters so we can actually see them around the oval. So,
yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah. But look, we're just going to go a quick break, and we'll come back with more sporting news.
In heavy action, every choice you make has a huge impact.
You've got to make the right decisions. If you want to be a game changer,
you can't afford to take unnecessary risks
or rush into something that you might regret.
Whether you're in heavy traffic
or you've got room to move,
you still have to be in complete control.
Just one decision, one small thing,
one lapse in concentration,
and your whole world could change.
Welcome back. So now, after that really short break there, we were expecting a bit of a song there, Dazza, but Daz is a man that runs the background here, so...
He keeps it all happening and taking over.
Yeah, we were expecting a longer break there, Dazza, but thanks for that. We'll go into some basketball news now. Obviously, I'm a massive NBA fan and biased to the Boston Celtics since I was a little boy, but today was the All-Star weekend. I should say the All-Star game, but the All-Star weekend happened over the weekend. Of course, that's what it's called, the All-Star weekend. That's right, the weekend. Now, the West defeated the East today, 168 to 158. Now,
they don't give out a defensive player of the game award, do they?
No, they certainly don't. I mean, seriously, 168 points that's ridiculous. And it looks like the Russell Westbrook from Oklahoma scored 41 points and gained the MVP for the game today, which was 1 point shy of the record held by Will Chamberlain, 42 points. So, I mean, even in a game like that, to score 41 points, I mean, look, nobody wants to lose. And unfortunately, the East lost, which I'm an East man, being a Celtics supporter. But look, over the years, in the last few years, it's definitely it's not as competitive as it used to be. It used to be a serious event in the 90s, which was fantastic.
Is that partly just a theory, but is that partly because the West have just been so dominant overall in the league for what must be the last 10 years?
Yeah, definitely. The West is, now with obviously Los Angeles being dominant, San Antonio. I mean, now obviously more recent teams like Houston, Oklahoma, etc. So the West has, I mean, you got to understand that in the early 90s and or even the 80s, the East was the dominant Detroit. Chicago, Boston. So it's but look, it's unfortunately it's great. I mean, I watched the dunk contest over the weekend, and I mean, seriously, in the 19-year-old Levine from Minnesota, the stuff that he was pulling out, it's been one of the best dunk contests in years.
I saw some of those dunks. I'm not quite sure how you can get up that high.
Oh, well,
is there a trampoline?
Let me tell you, I need more than a trampoline. I need like the biggest trampoline in the world. If you don't want to see my physical body, that's for sure. I wouldn't be able to jump. I can't even jump 3 centimeters, let alone that. So, but
it's interesting. Yeah, like just the ability of these guys to jump that high. I guess, and there's a certain degree of control and balance and all those other things, when they're twisting and turning and they're throwing the ball between their legs and all these different sort of manoeuvres and tricks that they're coming up with. But it would have been the best dunk contest in 3 or 4 years.
Oh, yeah, easily, I think. And, they, not to mention, also, not to forget, I should say, 3-point contest won by Stephen Curry, he's playing like an MVP pretty much this year for Golden State, and hence the result they're getting. So he clearly won that, topping a score of 27 out of a possible 34. So I just wanted to add that in there for those shooting purists listening, like myself.
Not if Mike Mackay's listening.
Mike Mackay, that's it. Well, he was fantastic, Mike Mackay. Let me tell you. But speaking of Mike Mackay, it's a pretty good segue, folks.
Oh, thank you.
Very good segue, and threw me off with that one. I'm going to roll with it. The NBL. Now, let's talk about the NBL because our very own LA 36ers are on fire.
They are on fire.
Like NBA Jam on fire. When you hit 3 shots in a row and then you're on fire, like the ball, you can't.
Yeah, the ball. Yeah.
And then you do those. Anyway, that's how on fire they are. I think they've won about 8 in a row.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
8 in a row now. They're actually. Let's have a look here.
We've been on board with the 36ers all season as well.
Well, we have. I actually haven't been to a game.
Let's not be one of these bandwagon support groups here.
No,
we have been on them the entire time.
Well, that is true. Now, I'm going to just bring up the latest results here from the NBL.
Well, we know, one result we do know, and you don't see this very often, is yesterday, New Zealand beating the Perth Wildcats in Perth. So they've beaten them now 4 times this year, but they beat them yesterday on a half-court buzzer beater.
Now, see, that's the way you want to win games this year.
Can you imagine? Just imagine an order of that. So it's a half-court shot, which, what's the percentage of a half-court shot? Are you thinking 10% maybe?
Oh, no, you know what, actually, I've got a few in my day, back in the good old days, but I look it up, percentage, I reckon, you know what, out of 10 attempts, you can get at least twice.
Yeah. You can go, okay, yeah. We might have a shooting competition next week, folks. Glad thinks he can get 2 out of 10.
Come out to the local court. Yes, the local half court. Now we're at Dazza. What's going on here? You haven't given me any of these results.
I've been trying to just talk, folks, but we're really getting nowhere.
we're really getting nowhere here because someone has taken our results, which was right in front of my eyes, and it's not good. Yeah, here we go. Look,
hang on.
Now, I think I've found them here somewhere. Actually, what have we got? No, this is
But what are we doing?
I don't know what we're doing
at the moment.
But we do have dead air. No, we do have dead air. Well, it's not really dead air because we are talking, but
let's talk All-Star Game and let's just talk about that again. It was more of a spectacle. I think Nicki Minaj featured, didn't she, and performed at halftime.
Racism
has no place in sport.
no place in sport.
Everyone
deserves a fair go. Regardless of skin colour, background, or culture. Racism. It stops with me. It stops with me.
It stops with me.
Coaches on a good, mate. It's probably one of the best rock and roll bands in the world.
For nearly 4 decades, Adelaide's Cold Chisel have defined Australian rock and roll. Their last national tour was the biggest ever by an Australian band. Their music, like their appeal, is totally timeless. Check it out.
I left my heart to disciples round K-Sand.
Australia's greatest band, performing the anthems that have become part of Australian culture. Marking their 40th anniversary, Cold Chisel play a once-in-a-lifetime exclusive South Australian performance. Sunday, March 1st, 2015. Clipsal 500 Adelaide is proud to welcome home the legendary Cold Chisel.
Listen in just with that Mike Mackay. Just let me know when he goes Mike Mackay, and I'll go, oh, that's a great song.
Okay, just go. Yep, so I'll answer it after.
You sure? Mm-hmm. Now, Travis, Mike Mackay, that's a great segue.
Thanks, mate.
Yeah,
happy to help.
Yes, very, very good there, Travis. Now, let's go to the NBL results because our very own Adelaide 36 on fire.
They are on fire.
NBA Jam on fire, Travis. They've won around about...
Can we get an NBA Jam machine here, you think?
Hey, Dazza, can you organise that for us? All right, fantastic. Thumbs up, folks. NBA Jam machines coming here to Ozsports FM podcast. Anybody's welcome. I challenge anybody out there because I was a champion when I was younger. Look at the record books. But now the 36ers, they defeated New Zealand 93-87 with Jay Wilson scoring 28 points and the mode of 18 and D. Thompson 15. So another great victory by our 36ers.
By the 36ers, yeah. Peaking at the right time of the year.
Well, they are, actually. They are, Travis. They're sitting fourth. 15 wins, 11 losses. Played 26 games, but Perth are ahead of them on 15 and 10 with a game in hand. So, and I believe we play Perth soon.
Play Perth, I think Friday night, by memory, in Perth. If the Sixers win, they will go to third and finish third after the regular season.
I don't know what's going on at the start of the season, but they weren't playing as this good, obviously. And I'm glad, because I haven't been to a game yet, which is really bad. But
they did have a couple of personnel changes, I think, from last year's grand final side. But it's a big drop-off, though, I guess, from making the grand final, just losing the decider last year to the first half of this year, and then they turned it around again. I guess Brock Bowden has always been a key player for them all year, and maybe win the MVP. But you bring back Daniel Johnson, who's won the club MVP a few times, and that they might be a bit of a team to look out for in the finals. I'm not sure that Cairns, New Zealand, or Perth would be too happy about playing the Sixers, particularly with the form they're in at the moment.
No, well, Cairns destroyed Melbourne 84-62, and we've got Townsville 105 defeated. Actually, well, they're doubled up here on the results, which is nice. Melbourne must have played back to the game because it says here that Townsville beat Melbourne too, 105-68. So they must have played back-to-back games there.
What do they call that? Is that the Sunshine Swing they used to call it?
There must be the Sunshine Swing. Well, look, they've thrown a lot of names in the last 10 to 15 years as I've followed the league. But and obviously not forgetting Wollongong beating Sydney Kings 75 to 73. So it's it's getting to the pointy end of the season. So it's going to be. We'll keep you posted. And now. Let's go to soccer, I reckon, because let's face it, today was a very special day for us. LFC tickets went on sale with Travis.
They did, yes, for those fortunate enough to have access to a pre-sale.
Yes,
they did.
Indeed.
Yeah.
You got your tickets?
I was very lucky to get some tickets, yes, and I absolutely can't wait.
Well, yeah, I can't wait. I got my tickets as well. So
what sort of tickets did you get, Vlad?
Platinum tickets.
Platinum.
There's a big high roller there.
Jeez, you must be doing all right for yourself, Vlad.
Yeah.
For those platinum tickets.
That's right. Well, not my shout, that's for sure. Let me tell you, I'm paying for one, and the other 6 people can pay for themselves. So, but no, look, yeah, lucky enough. So tickets on sale, people. If you are listening to us out there, all your billions and billions of listeners, then jump on board. It's going to sell out tomorrow.
Yeah, tickets to the general public on sale tomorrow. They will go quickly, I would think.
Yes, they will definitely go quickly. It's going to be sold out definitely by the end of tomorrow. If not,
it's going to be sold out, and I reckon there'll be more than 41,000 that are sell out.
Yeah, terrible. I really hate that when it comes to whatever sport there. It's AFL obviously predominant now. Obviously cricket saying it's sold out over 50,000, and everybody's reporting that, and then there's 41,000 that rock up.
Yeah.
Shame on you, members. Shame on you.
Absolutely, yeah.
Soccer members, I can blame all of you out there. Terrible.
That was Vlad.
Yes.
Vlad who said that.
Yeah, not Travis. That's it. If you got a problem, come speak to me. Now, let's go to the local, obviously the A-League, because, you know,
United had so many chances.
It was like there was no one in front of goal, and they couldn't even tap it in. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
But drew 1-1 with top team Perth. Now, they did score first, and Perth scored a cracker equaliser. Look, they're sitting third at the moment. I mean, on 30 points, 1 point clear of Wellington.
It's really tight at the top, though, isn't it? In the A-League at the moment.
Very tight. So Perth on 34 points, followed by Melbourne Victory 33, and then Adelaide on 30, followed by Wellington 29, and Sydney on 26. So really, has Sydney got a chance? Well, they are, but you know, they're really Sydney, Brisbane. I mean, really.
Yeah. No, I mean, Perth and Victory and Adelaide have been around the mark all year, haven't they?
Adelaide's been playing that great attacking type of football. They just can't seem to convert on crucial matches. So, but just to quickly go through to the other results, obviously we had Adelaide, 1-1 with Perth, and we had Brisbane Roar with 2 now versus Central Coast Mariners 0, which, Central Coast.
Sort of be expected.
Yeah, sort of be expected. And then you got Wellington Phoenix 0, Melbourne City 0, Newcastle Jets 1, Sydney Wanderers 1. Wanderers horrible this year.
They have been. Which is odd. I mean, they just won the Asian Cup.
Yeah,
the Asian Club Championship.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on down in Sydney Wanderers territory, but yeah, pretty crappy. And what about Sydney FC versus Melbourne Victory? 3-3, Travis.
Yeah, another entertaining game between the two blue teams.
Yeah, it wasn't heated between those two.
Yeah, there's a big, I'm bigger than you and I'm better than you because I live in Sydney, but then the Melbourne guys, they're obviously parochial about Melbourne and they think they're bigger and better than Sydney, and yeah, it always is very tense.
Very tense, which is good. It makes the A-League special. So it's getting better and better, and definitely with obviously our beloved Socceroos winning the Asian Cup has just enhanced the league even more, I think, with the supporters. So now FA Cup, which is going to touch briefly in the FA Cup as well. Our beloved Liverpool 2-1 defeated Crystal Palace, being 1 goal down.
Yeah. Good result.
Yes, Sturridge scored in Lallana, so great result. Thankfully, maybe we can actually win something this year. It'd be nice. And just going quickly through the results, Blackburn Rovers 4 defeated Stoke 1, Derby 1 versus, they lost to Reading 2, and West Bromwich Albion actually 4 defeated West Ham 0. I mean, so some interesting results there. Now, I know I'm a bit of a fan of the local soccer league as well, so that's kicked off last Wednesday, Travis.
Oh, okay.
Now, are you familiar with the local league?
I won't tell a lie and say I am, so it's a little bit foreign.
Well, I'm nominating you. You're following White City.
Okay.
That's a beloved team that I follow. So, Travis,
Can I investigate that during the week and come back to you and confirm if I would like to be a White City supporter?
yes, you can, but you may not have much choice. So now let's go quickly. That kicked off against on last Wednesday. So obviously prior. So Croydon Kings defeated Metro Stars 2-1. Now, blockbuster match between White City and Raiders ended in a 2-2 draw. And Pirates defeated Moggy Jets 3-1. Blue Eagles defeated Adelaide City 4-1. Adelaide Comets 1-0 over Parrot Hills Knights. Campbelltown West Adelaide Boring 0-0 0-0. And Bacala defeated South Adelaide 4-1. So that's the quick results and recap of the weekend. Let's come into the end of the show, but we've got a couple minor things. Travis, you're pointing at something at me.
Well, you call it minor, Vlad, but it's probably far from it when we're talking in dollar terms.
Oh, yes.
The IPL auction.
Oh, now tell us. Now, I'm a novice when it comes to the IPL auction, so tell me and the viewers. Well, that'd be sad.
I think
let's hope that thank God listeners.
I think
It's not a good sign.
quite simply, it's a bit of a hit and giggle. We see it here with the Big Bash, obviously, but it's minuscule compared to what it is over in India with the IPL, particularly when you consider some of the money being thrown around today.
How much are we talking?
Aaron Finch, obviously, made a century just on Saturday against England. Well, he's going to pick up a very cool $662,000 in this version of the IPL.
How many matches is in the IPL? I mean, that sounds like a lot of dosh.
It's about 6 weeks.
6 weeks
Worth of work. That
Wow.
constitutes the IPL.
And what about if you get out for a duck on each of those matches? Do you still get paid the $600,000?
You still get every cent of what you were bought for, yes. So Aaron Finch will get every dollar of his $662,000 if he makes it up in every.
How we make $600,000 in 6 weeks?
Great question.
We'll have to get back to Dazza. Where is Dazza? We need to get paid more, Dazza.
He's grand.
He's actually out of the door. He's actually gone. He's gone.
So Aaron Finch, he picks up $662K. He's going to be at the Mumbai Indians, where you might remember a man by the name of Ricky Ponting. Going to coach Mumbai. So Aaron Finch will hook up with another Aussie there, but that's chump change, really. When you consider that Yuvraj Singh, who is of course an Indian player, he was bought by the Delhi Daredevils for $3.31 million for one season.
Yeah, okay. $3 million.
$3 million for one season. For 6 weeks worth of cricket.
6 weeks, $3 million.
Yeah, for this version of the IPL, $3.31 million.
We're in the wrong industry, Travis.
We certainly are.
I need to take out that old cricket bat and scrub up the nets and put my hand up in the next auction.
Well, look, you could try.
Could get a dollar.
Absolutely. I don't know how you'll go. Brad Hodge, Cameron White, Matthew Wade, a couple of guys who haven't been bought at this point, so you might need to do some work, Blake, but by all means, put your hand in and
see what it is.
There you go.
You never know, mate. I think I might have to scrub up, mate. It's good to see Dazza back in the little studio here. Thanks for returning, Dazza. We don't know what the hell was going on there. As soon as we mentioned pay rises, you left. So I don't know if that's just your way of telling us something or not. But yeah, thanks for joining us, Dazza. So $3 million, I can't believe that, and I don't think the listeners can believe that either.
No, they probably can't. But I will say again, $3.31 million.
And that's the highest.
That's
the highest ever?
That's the highest ever. Yes, the highest ever figure for an IPL player at the auction.
Who supports the IPL? I mean, yeah, the individual clubs, but who's behind these clubs?
Indian celebrities. I mean, India with their economy, they do have
billion people.
Yeah, a lot of people with a lot of money. Cricket, as we know, is the number one sport there. I guess the owners of these teams and franchises see it as a bit of a hobby.
Yeah.
They all want success. They all want to win.
Really?
They throw their money around and they want to get the best players.
And I thought collecting comics was a good hobby. That's running a
comics, model cars, stamps. There are plenty of hobbies you could have that wouldn't cost you north of $3 million.
Wow.
For one season.
For 6 weeks' work.
Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. It's really hard to believe, but
how's the evergreen Brad Hogg though? He's going to pick up $100K from the Kolkata Knight Riders.
How old is he?
He is 44 years of age.
There's still hope for everyone out
still
there.
Hope. Absolutely.
44 years of age and getting $100,000 for 6 weeks' work. That's what I like to put it.
Just a nice little superannuation fund there for Brad Hogg.
But he probably needs it. I mean, come on. With his cricket contracts get flown out to our Australian players over the years.
Yeah, I think he's doing all right, but hey, you can still get it. Well, look, mate, that's all I've got time for. After all that, it's been another big week in sport.
Another big week in sport. So it's going to be action-packed again this weekend.
More action happening. Cricket World Cup, soccer, basketball,
everything.
Footy stuff ramps up.
Yes.
Plenty happening again. So we look forward to coming back next week and doing it all again.
Yes. Tune in. Listen to us. Share the link, Definitely. Ozsports Online.
That's right, on Ozsports FM. And thanks for listening. We'll see you next week.
Ciao.